Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
4 ways women lose a good man and how you can avoid it. Pay attention. Let's get into it, ladies. Men, correct me if I'm wrong. Taking them for granted. A man been so good to you for so long, you no longer see the value in them. The value in how they treat you. Not communicating well or effectively. Like expecting men to read our minds and getting mad when they can't. Being dismissive about how you make him feel or being overly defensive in response to how he feels. Basically, not liking being held accountable for your actions and how you've made that man feel. Last but not least, being selfish and unwilling to compromise.
Whoa! Are we on fire tonight? We are on complete fire tonight. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are you with Lilith? The mythological, well, maybe it's not mythological. They say she predates the Bible. Goodness. Maybe it's not mythological. Adam's first wife who quarreled with him and rebuffed 3 angels after they tracked her down after she ran away from Adam. Yee. They said Eve is the second wife, the sweet one. But can men really differentiate between a toxic woman and a supportive woman? Differentiating between a toxic woman and a supportive woman who genuinely cares for her man's well-being can be challenging for a lot of men. Red flags and warning signs may appear early on in a relationship, such as controlling behavior, constant criticism, and or lack of empathy. It is essential to trust one's instincts and seek guidance to avoid falling into toxic relationships. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Can a toxic woman change? While change is possible for everyone, it is essential to acknowledge that change must come from within. A toxic woman can only improve her behavior if she recognizes her actions, takes responsibility, and seeks personal growth. However, it is not the responsibility of the man to change her, and he must prioritize his own well-being. You do know that this is bi-directional and it is not gender-based. The same applies for men. All of these points that I'm bringing up, the same applies for men. And I do believe that men can also cause good women to go bad. Let's not forget that. Yo, here we go. We got callers all over the country. Let's get them in here. Nick from the SIP. Nikki, I know you got something ready for me tonight.
Brother Zoe, hello, fam. What's going on?
You know I had to do this one now.
Okay, right at the holidays with the cliffhangers. Here you go.
Hey.
In the interest of internal growth, people should check out R.C. Blake's. He has several books, but the Father-Daughter Talk is a good place to start, and then you can move on to queenology, and he has a kingology also. But it does help sort of meet you where you are in dealing with the very issues that you're talking about. Broken consciousness in a woman is like a weapon of mass destruction, because if we look at it from women being the life givers in terms of carrying children, you asked earlier about how to kill a man in 3 steps. Well, first with words mentally, because in the womb she can destroy him before he even gets here with negative talk. If she's unhappy about being pregnant, she finds out it's a boy, but she really wanted a little girl. And that it takes her a while to warm to the idea of a son if she really wanted a daughter. Physically, if we aren't paying attention to what our men are doing with their body, even our young boys, what they're putting in it, whether that be substance related or even food issues. And then spiritually, in my household growing up, it was a big deal to never break a man's spirit. If you break the spirit of a man, it's really, really hard for him to come back from that. So it's extremely difficult. I mean, we can be mad and we have to go our separate ways, and I may even be in a place of healthy disdain. But in the household I came from, never break a man's spirit. Don't do that. You asked about ungodly earlier. Ungodly is neither fear nor serving of God, which represents, in my opinion, an unalignment with Christ, which is very scary. That anytime we're misaligned, it's a problem. But if you're unaligned with God, then that's a whole different level, which is why you might be exhibiting characteristics in terms of killing a man. You talked about the Proverbs. Okay, that's important, because the last 5 or the next 5 words of after a man who findeth a wife has found is a good thing, I think people miss. And they are, and obtains favor from God. If you obtain God's favor, I humbly submit, the favor of God can do things for you that money cannot. That's why they say favor ain't fair. It opens doors that no man can open or close. It provides you access in ways that money will not get you. The favor of God is him speaking your name in the ears of men and women in rooms you never enter when he's talking to them. But when you enter the room of who he's whispering your name to, they know who you are. The favor of God does that.
So you said something very profound, and I want to get a little bit more insight. You said you were raised in a household that said never break a man's spirit. How can a man's spirit be broken, and why would they be teaching that to a young girl such as yourself? Talk to me.
Because oftentimes through the strain of relationships, you might have women who, or I mean, it works the other way, but I'm saying me because I'm a girl and that's what we were taught, who might be vengeful, who might want to strike back at a man. And if you know the man you are with, or whoever your partner is, you tend to poke the bear in the place you know will hurt the most if you're in a vengeful or angry place. And so in my household, men, you talked about the people in your family and, how you hold them accountable versus the intimate relationships. Okay. Men were held in a place of honor in my household. So if it was the last piece of steak, chicken, pork chops, cornbread, whatever, whoever the senior man in the house is at the table gets first dibs on that before anybody else.
I see.
Okay. And so when you're talking about teaching young girls in the family, if you poke the bear in the place that you know you'll hurt him, like really hurt him, see, that's breaking a man's spirit. This is oftentimes after you mentally assaulted him and just eviscerated him, whether it be over a long period of time or a short period of time. That's why I said mentally you can work on a man in the womb. Then he's born, and then he is introduced to women who further take him down through there with their language to him. Feed his spirit in a positive way. They don't build a man up so that he has a foundation, so that when he meets this woman who has broken consciousness, he knows to run, Forrest, run. You know, you can have deaths in a man in places in him without initially destroying the whole. You can kill him a little bit over time and break him down to the point over time that you do break his spirit.
Wow. Nikki.
Women know they can do that.
Why are women so reluctant to talk about it as openly and freely as you're doing right now?
Because you got to do what the thing is you always talk about. You got to do the work. If you weren't reared in an environment where these kind of conversations took place, then you have got to do that work. I do not want to make another human being, even if that human being can't stay with me for whatever the reason is. I want you to be better when you leave me than when you got here, even if you got to go.
Wow.
Because sometimes you got to go, or I got to go. But I don't have to break you down to dust because we got to go.
Ooh, come on, Nick.
Come on now. I can't take a man's last nothing, his last money, his last food. That's hard for me because in the house I came from, that's not what queens do. A queen will only respond to a king.
I like it. Nikki, do you know what you just did?
I love everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I brought the sip in before the holiday.
Nikki from the SIP, Mississippi in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got a barn burner here.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, Black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any Black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I was able to speak with Kate Luzio, former banking executive and now owner of Luminary, who partnered with Chase for this tour. She makes it her business to build community for business owners.
Yes, so I was a banker for 20 years before I decided to become an entrepreneur. 7 of those years were actually at JP Morgan Chase. One of the biggest things that I had going into my entrepreneurial journey was a big background in banking.
So what advice are you giving business owners looking for financial backing today?
So Chase brings in so much knowledge and the opportunity to understand what financial tools are out there for business owners to build, grow, and scale their business. A lot of business owners will say, well, I need to get a loan immediately. Well, you wouldn't just lend money to your friend if you didn't know why they needed it. I tell every business owner, you need a business plan, you need financial projections, you need a banker. Because you have to start building a relationship with a banker so that they get comfortable with how you're going to build that business and so that they can eventually support you in different ways.
Makes sense. So visit the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon. Meet a banker today. Tell them about your business. I'm Aisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
That is how you damage, that's how you ruin good men. If you are a woman who is not healed through their trauma, say you were in a past relationship with a man who was extremely abusive to you, and in your survival mode, you would match his level of intensity, so you would start yelling, screaming, calling names, throwing things in his face because he was doing it to you, and now you're in a new relationship, and you're with a man who doesn't do anything like that. He's a super sweet dude. He has his flaws. He frustrates you and gets under your skin a little bit. But once you enter fight or flight and you're triggered and you're living that scenario that you had with your ex, knowing that that is not your current partner, and you start throwing things in his face and calling him names and yelling at him and berating him because you can't control your emotions or resolve the trauma and the damage from somebody else, you are ruining that good man. And you're going to take a little bit of...
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we up in here tonight. The night before Thanksgiving. Hey, I know this is in the background in many people's kitchen right now. People are in there cooking, and we're in here cooking right now. Woo! Here we go. We got callers from all over the country. This is a national discussion right now. People are calling in from all over the United States to join this. Let's get Dallas, Texas back in here. True Monger, what are your thoughts?
Yes, sir.
True Monger, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Man, I'm ready. How you doing?
I can't complain. I can't complain. Don't do no good anyway.
Nah, who gonna listen?
Right. They don't care.
Right.
But as far as this topic goes, I think most men have experienced a builder and a destroyer, probably within the same person. There's gonna be moments where that happens.
Yes.
It could be intentional. It might be unintentional. It could be a case where maybe a woman is trying to destroy what you are in order to build what she wants you to be, to make herself feel better. There's women out there that do that and have like it's okay. A lot of Liliths out here are more than likely they come from daddy issues.
Really?
So they may feel like they can use a man up, but they really don't care about him. So they'll say whatever and do whatever and think a man's just supposed to take it just because they got a vagina. A lot of women will use that as an excuse to try to get away with anything. And it doesn't work that way. You're going to, in some way or form or fashion, you're accountable for what you say and do.
Right.
If you're intentionally trying to destroy somebody, it's going to come back on you. And you're not going to like the result of it. Then you're going to try to make up every excuse in the world for why it happened instead of being accountable for what you did.
Right.
So it's always, to me, it's always better. Of course, you'd rather be with a builder, a supporter.
Right.
But everybody's not going to be like that, and it's going to take maturity. You're going to have to go through some stuff to actually get to that point.
Right.
Some people were never taught that. So all they know how to do is destroy. Some people like the Joker. They just want to see people burn.
Man.
They don't care how you feel about it, as long as they get what they want.
That's right. True. Guess what you just did, brother?
Just brought Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. It's on fire tonight. But I will say this, too. The reverse is also true. I think men can speak sickness and death into women. I think men can be emotionally abusive. I think men can be exceedingly verbally abusive. I know, looking at myself, there have been times where, I will cut you down with my words, and I've done it before. So I do believe that men and women both share this power of being able to speak life and death into a situation. And we talked about this with Dr. Pacoya McCall the other night. So I do believe both men and women can do it. But what's interesting is it's like this folklore that basically says when you find a good woman, that's God sent. That's heaven sent. God put you on when you found a good woman. I do believe that. But I also think the reverse is true too, ladies. When you find a good man, I think sometimes because the options are so crazy right now because of the internet and, all other, different types of access or whatever, I think what happens is sometimes you got to get out there and start comparing what you have with what's available. And I think when you get into the comparison game, that's when you fall off. That's when you fall off. So this is a heavy topic, man, and I'm really enjoying it. Callers are from everywhere right now. I'm staying on point has been on the longest. Get in here.
Alafia family.
Alafia, what are your thoughts?
Mr. Zoe. Since you came from the scripture, I grabbed one.
Thank
you. And I will paraphrase from Matthew 7:12. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Some would call that a moral code, a universal law. So if a person can intentionally hurt you, then, I believe True was on the freeway of speaking about karma. It's going to come back in some shape or form, unfortunately. And if you can hurt somebody, that's very selfish. And when it comes down to women and men looking at women, I would say this. Look and really understand how a woman talks to herself. If she demeans herself, that means she's going to do the same thing to you.
That's big. Yeah.
If it says if you want to have friends, then you have to show yourself friendly. So if this person doesn't have anything good to say for themselves, how are you going to expect them to have anything good to say to you? It's not going to happen. And I will close with this. One of the dangerous things in a woman's community is the friends that she keeps. We all have those friends that are going to tell us what's right. And then in the instance of you having a good man, but you want to take him for what he's worth, then you go in and talk to that other friend that is going to fuel that fire. And so the community could be even your family members. You have to be big enough and strong enough to set up those boundaries to cut those people off, because it's just going to breed toxicity.
I love it. I love it. Guess what you just did?
I brought LBC in the building.
You brought Long Beach, California in the building. You want to bring your city in the building. The phone lines are just lighting up. People from all over the country, they want to talk about it. And I want to talk about it too. Let's get CA from Nolans. Nolans in the house.
Oh, what's up, Zoe?
CA, how are you, brother? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? No profanity.
Okay. I experienced this whole topic firsthand. The whole show, everything that's being said and described is like a firsthand experience for me.
Really? How?
Yeah, I'm real careful in talking about it because I understand that what I've been through and what I'm going through is a reflection of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always having a high level of introspection when talking about what my experience is and what I've been through and stuff, and who I magnetize to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm calling in to kind of like share a little bit on the topic.
Please.
When in that relationship, I tried everything except for getting married, and none of it worked. It was a situation where I could give some examples of things where she's had her trauma, but ultimately at the end of the day, I've heard words like "I blame you and only you," and stuff like I was on my road to trying to fulfill a basketball career, and at the end, when it wasn't working out, I was told that I wish you never made it because I felt like if you would have made it, you would have left me for somebody else.
Wait, hold tight. Hold tight. When we come forward, we going back to CA in New Orleans, Louisiana. We got a lot to talk about, clearly.
I wouldn't if I were you. I know what she can do. She's deadly mad. She could really rip your world apart. Mind over matter. The beauty is there, but the beast is in the heart. Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy. She'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. More than half of American voters say they or someone they live with owns a gun. An NBC News national poll shows 52% say so. That's up from 46% in 2019. Gun ownership falls along partisan lines, with 2 in 3 Republican voters saying they or someone in their household owns a gun. Less than half of independents and Democrats said the same. White voters tended to say they own guns at higher rates than Black or Latino voters. A Macomb County jury in Michigan has found a Warren man guilty of a hate crime stemming from a 2022 incident. Anthony Mangiapane was accused of shouting a racial slur and firing a shot at a Black man who walked past his business. The suspect refused to come out of his building but later surrendered. Mangiapane was found guilty of assault with a deadly weapon, ethnic intimidation, and a weapons charge. He faces up to 8 years in prison. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out.
Believe it.
Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader when the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
This open enrollment season, LA Care Covered is offering health plans starting at $0 a month. Each plan provides benefits including $0 preventive services, 24/7 telehealth services, around-the-clock nurse advice lines, walk-in minute clinics, and more. Shop and compare premium silver plans with $0 deductibles to help meet your health goals. Ready to shop? Visit us online at lacarecovered.org for a commitment-free instant quote or speak with us directly at 855-222-4239. LA Care Covered, your affordable path to wellness.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. So
So I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice to breeze up.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be going over 6 foolproof, easy ways to tell that a woman is toxic. And I think every single guy on the planet should watch this video, especially after the Amber Heard Johnny Depp debacle that we all saw online. I think it will benefit all of you to make sure that you watch this video and stick around until the very end. So again, these are 6 foolproof ways to tell that a woman is toxic. Let's get right into it. Number 1, she's always the victim. If she's always pointing fingers, blaming you, never taking accountability, it's always everyone's fault but hers, this is not a good sign, and a sign that she's unable to take accountability for her actions, which is obviously not beneficial if you're looking for a healthy, mature relationship. This is the type of girl that's always going to make you feel guilty, who's going to make you feel like you need to be apologizing for things that you didn't even do, simply because of the fact that she can't take accountability for her actions. Plain and simple, it's exhausting to be with someone like this, and a toxic situation to be in where someone is always blaming other people and playing the victim. Now, there's a really big difference between playing the victim and actually being the, person who is in the right in a situation. I'm not saying that she can never be the victim in a situation, but I do think that constantly playing the victim or wanting to be the victim and wanting people to feel bad for you and throw a pity party for you is not a good way to live your life and is exhausting to be with someone like that. Number 2, and one of the easiest ways to see things from the very beginning, is that they play games. This is something that you honestly might be able to pick up on from the very start and save yourself some time. I say this all the time on my channel. If you have been on my channel for a while, I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times. If she's playing games with you, this is a sign that she is insecure and immature, and we don't have time for that here. And also, this is going to be a window into what the rest of your relationship is going to look like with her, which probably is not a healthy, happy one. I will also say this, and I think
woo, this is Andy in here looking like, whoa, so what is going on? This is a heavy topic. I had to drop this topic before the holiday. The sister that was in here, was it yesterday? She said it. She said, when you find a wife, you find a good thing. I'm saying, yeah, but sometimes you got to go through a few mishaps before you get there, right? And same for women, right? 1-800-920-1580. We got a lot of callers on the line from all over the country. Let me get CA from New Orleans back in here to get his thought. CA, you were saying.
Oh, yeah. I was saying that
as a ball player, she was like, I hope you don't make it.
Yeah, well, she told me on the back end she hoped that I never hoped that I never made it, because if I did, I would have left her. We had kids together, so that was not what that's rooted in. I'm always trying to even it out and show my side. I have stepped out on a relationship before, and I've empathized and apologized for that, but she has too. And I noticed this thing about I know it's not just my situation, so I'm speaking to most people here, a lot of people here. In my situation, the more accountability I took, the more it seemed to absolve her from any wrongdoing.
Interesting.
From her end. Like every time I tried to show some empathy or like try to show some understanding and not argue, I felt like if I would have argued, it would have I would have stood a better chance than trying to empathize and look at things from her point of view and try to show some compassion and all of those things. Because the more I did that, the more it absolved her from any wrongdoing, to the point where she felt like she had no role to play in anything.
Interesting, brother. Interesting. Sorry you had to go through that, man. That's tough, but what did you learn? about yourself.
Oh, snap. So when these situations, they can be reflections of yourself, but I feel like this situation, it wasn't a reflection of my character. It was more a reflection of my bad decision making and the choices I made, and not being more respectful to myself, of being protective of who I reproduce with and got with.
Hey,
Because I'm a nice person. I'm not. Yeah.
No, man, I appreciate the honesty. I'm not gonna push back on you. I appreciate the honesty, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, guess what you just did?
Yeah, I brought New Orleans in the building.
Come on, New Orleans is in the building. Y'all know when I say guess what you just did? You brought your city in the building. The phone lines are crazy right now. Let's get back home. Inglewood, Leroy, get in here.
Greetings. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, Model Tep to you. Hope all is well to everybody, all the family. These sisters you had on there tonight was dynamic. I mean, they was good. Get tonight. The psychologist. I mean, come on, man.
Yes, brother.
I'm giving props to the sisters because, but let me just go metaphysical. Can I go higher? Is it all right if I go higher?
You can go higher. Go higher, brother. Go higher.
Okay, Zola. So Lilith is a type. She represents something from a patriarchal view. That if you run into a woman who wants to be on top, she wants to compete with you for the leadership spot. She wants to contest your ideas and ideology of the way things should go and how they should be. That woman got to be rejected. You're supposed to look for and choose someone who's a little bit more docile and submissive and supportive. Now, they go all the way and stretch that to the point where Lilith becomes evil and demonic, and, they go in a whole bunch of other directions with that. But we just boiled it down to the basic. Lilith represents the woman who might be great at what she does, but probably won't make the greatest mate if you operating within that patriarchal structure. And Eve represents someone that you can work with, even though she might be more gullible to a silver-tongued devil.
Devil, right. Right.
I'm being polite, but you understand. Simplicity, right?
Yeah.
Devil, the evil, right? Slickster.
Yes.
Player, pimp. Hustler, got some game,
Right.
So that's kind of the basics of those stories, even though they get fleshed out into something where they turn into something, unnecessary. Now, I'll stop right there, and I want to thank the other sisters who pointed that out on a more mundane, practical, touch it everyday level, because they did an excellent and dynamic job.
Hey, brother.
And thank you for bringing up the subject.
Hey, and guess what you just did?
Man, I brought you into the building.
Inglewood is in the building. We appreciate you for calling. If you want to bring your city in the building, join the national discussion that we're having right now. We are on complete fire, and I'm loving every moment of it. Mimi, Jacksonville, Florida, get in here.
You know what?
Go ahead, Mimi. Go ahead. Let us have it.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Because most women, we are life givers, we are nurturers. We are not perfect. We do see the good, the bad, and the ugly in ourselves. I am accountable. I think most women are accountable. And I feel like I'm tired of this narrative of black women in particular, emasculating black men. And black men not being accountable for their own BS and put it back on us and say, oh, it's y'all. But it's really both of us. It's toxicity on both ends. But it's like everybody, no, it's y'all, it's y'all, it's y'all. But it's us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree with you. I think I done said that 3-4 times tonight.
Read the chat, though. Everybody's not on your page.
It's hard for me to read everything y'all saying in the chat. What's going on in the chat? Tell me what happened.
I don't know where to begin.
Who
It's
had
just like-
said what, Mimi? Tell me now.
I'm not going to say any names because I'm not. I could, but I'm not. I'm just saying, let's just be fair. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, let's be fair because black women, you know, we get it from all sides. You know, I'm not talking about a target on our back, but it's like everybody says, black women, you're angry, you're this, you're that, you're emasculating black men. And in actuality, if we really want to tell the truth, it's other women that are emasculating black men 3 times more than we are. But nobody really talks about that.
Now you got Andy involved because you talking.
Oh, here we go.
Here come Andy. Andy, get in here.
So, you know what I'm saying? You've been doing this show over here on KBLA going on, 2+ years?
Yeah.
And one thing I could say about you, you always keep it balanced.
I do.
Today I know you might be, highlighting the women. But, when we come back on Monday, you're probably going to go in on the dudes. So I just want to say, it's a balance here. It's a balance here.
See, Andy brought it out now. I don't know if you following me, Mimi, but I did call the brothers out. We did talk about how a lot of the points that we brought up are not gendered, which means it goes both ways. It's bi-directional. We did say that, Mimi.
I was late also. I was like 20 minutes late. But again, I will tell Andy, read the chat.
All right,
and I'm sure he does.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read this chat and see what's going on and see who's messing with Mimi. Mimi, guess what you just did?
I brought Jacksonville, Florida in the building.
Jacksonville, Florida is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the routine. All you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. Rob B., Nashville, Tennessee. You're up next when I come forward.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID, whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Ask any former youth in foster care what they missed most while growing up, and they will most likely answer, someone to show me unconditional love. Now, isn't that something we all wished we could experience? Here in Los Angeles, up to 40% of homeless youth on our streets identify as LGBTQ+. The most prevalent reason for homelessness among this population is the rejection they've experienced from their own families. The LA County Department of Children and Family Services and Raise a Child are searching for safe, nurturing, and affirming foster parents within our community willing to stand up and serve all children and youth in foster care, especially LGBTQ youth. Learn the many benefits to becoming a foster parent. Attend a free Raise a Child virtual or in-person informational event to learn more. RSVP now at raiseachild.org. That's raiseachild.org. And thank you.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
stop playing with Mike, man. Mike was serious about these women, wasn't he? He said they was dangerous. Ooh, Mike he wasn't playing, man. Hey, listen, let me just get to these callers, man. Because we getting close to the end of the show. I want to get these callers in here. My playlist has been bananas all night. Rob B. Nashville, Tennessee, volunteer state. Get in here.
It is better to live on the corner of a roof than share a home with a quarrelsome wife. So, when I tell you I dodged the bullet,
really,
I was Matrix style dodging the bullet. And the thing is, I wanted to get hit. For the better part of the last 3 years, I had spent on a treadmill, on a hamster wheel, of trying to fill a bottomless pit, pouring into someone who the more I poured, the more I was told it wasn't enough. Any sense of happiness outside of this person was frowned upon. Any camaraderie with friends and family was shunned. Slight collecting, perceived slights that turned into major arguments. No apology was ever good enough, and this person never did anything wrong. And it got to a point where when all else failed, abandonment was the tool of choice when it came to, I want you to capitulate or else. And when the abandonment started to lose its effect, then it's the yo-yo effect. Pull me close, push me away. Pull me close, push me away. Pull me close, push me away. And but I'm thankful for it in a way because it pushed me more toward my spiritual journey. And there was a lot about myself that I was like, you know what? In this time of being single, I'm going to focus on my development. I'm going to focus on what I need to change and how did I attract this?
Right.
And why did I let it last for so long?
Robbie, man. You killing, brother, but you at the end of the show. I got to go, but goodness gracious. Hey, man, we miss you, man. You got to start calling back in more often, all right?
Man, I need to. Work schedule changed up on me.
That's all right, but guess what you just did?
I brought Nashville in the building.
Nashville is in the building. Hey, no better way to end the show than to bring Los Angeles in the building. Daryl, get in here.
Let's come on up in here, sir. How are you doing tonight?
I'm alive and well, brother. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, it's really, it was a lot said tonight that I can kind of co-sign on. I was in a 20-year marriage of total toxicity as well as alcohol abuse. I believe she became an alcoholic because her dad was an alcoholic and she hated him for it. So you don't get to hate in my opinion, you don't get to hate your parents. So you become what you hate. And I think that's what helped, solidify her demise. But that said, a woman can definitely, take the wind out of your sails.
Or put the wind in them.
That's what you took the words right out of my mouth. But she can definitely put the wind behind those sails as well.
Yeah.
And it's all, for me, it's in her femininity. If she's humble, if she's supportive, if she's, she doesn't use a lot of vulgarity to express herself. She keeps that feminine aspect of what a woman should be. In my opinion, I'll go through walls for her. I'll crawl over a mile of broken glass for her, as long as she's keeping that femininity. Now, by the same token, it is bi-directional, because I've known some brothers that really tear women down.
Yes.
And that's usually the woman you end up with. And so instead of her going back after the guy that did all this. And then there's another aspect of the equation is women that get abused get used to it, and that's what they seek out.
Some of them, not all, but some.
Some but all. Some
Yes.
but all. You're absolutely right. But it's baked in the cake to a certain degree.
Baked in the
Especially
cake.
if she-
I'm stealing that. I'm sorry. It's baked in the cake.
But I'm just saying because it becomes, especially if she's attractive and insecure. Like the brother was saying at the beginning of the show, the insecure woman. Good Lord, if she's attractive and she's feeling insecure, like I'm a workaholic. So if I'm working a 16, 17-hour day, I got to come home off. She's going to be on fire. I got to defend myself because there's no way somebody's been out working that long in her mind because of her insecurity. So I just wanted to throw that out there, dude. I know we're at the end of the show, and
That's
I love
right.
the show. And
And
my boy Andy.
And
I'm
guess
still
what you
looking at
just
him now.
did? Guess what you just
I'm
did?
bringing LA up in.
Los Angeles is in the building. Listen, I love having a national dialogue. That's what it is. Nobody is in here purporting to be 100% right about anything. I'm asking, what's your opinion? What's your perspective on these mind-blowing topics, man? And these are discussions that I feel should be had often. We should have these kind of talks. At the end of the day, both men and women can speak life and death into each other. And I think it comes from the life that's in you or the death that's already in you, male or female. And to me, that death can gain strength if you don't look at it, if you don't embrace it. That's the shadow work. That's all the stuff that you picked up as you grew up. You gotta confront it. If not, it's gonna manifest itself right into the relationship. We started the conversation, you end it, and of course, up next, the fire continues with RSVP with Jill Monroe. VOR. Enjoy Thanksgiving. I'm out.
Money.